Hello and very warm welcome to StudyIQ. I am Prashant Mavani. I hope you all are doing good, dear friends. As you can see on your screen, today we are going to take two dates in one shot, 19th and 20th February. For next few days, we are going to follow the same pattern, but I must assure all of you that we will not drop any important items at all, right? So that's a guarantee. And the thing is, as you know, we are lagging a bit behind, and I can understand that you want this chase that we are doing to end ASAP. So we'll do it this way, and in near future we will catch up, and things will be all right from then. With this, dear friends, identify the person that you can see on your screen. The last answer was Dhola Sadia. If you want to know more about Dhola Sadia, then check out the comment section of Hindi as well as English version of this PIB analysis. StudyIQ provides pen drive and tablet courses for various different exams. Now the thing is, great holy sales are just around the corner. Check out studyiq.com to know more about it. You will get up to 50% discount on our pen drive and tablet courses. So this is a very good opportunity for all of you to get our pen drive and tablet courses. With this, let's see what we have got. PMO, Prime Minister, was addressing. Basically, he inaugurated this World Congress on Information Technology. Let me show you here. It was held here in Hyderabad, and he inaugurated this thing with the help of video conference, via video conference, and he talked about Mudra Yojana. He said that Mudra Yojana created 3 crore entrepreneurs. Now, you know that Mudra has 3 different types of, you can say 3 categories. One is Shishu, the other one is Kishore, and the third one is Tarun. You should be aware about all these things. This is a good way of revising this sort of bit older Yojana. They are not that old, but when you find this Mudra mentioned in our discussion, or if it is part of current affairs, then of course you should revise this Shishu, Kishore and Tarun associated with it. One of the most successful scheme of government of India, Jan Dhan Yojana, about financial inclusion. You know how it formalized those informal small businessmen and businesswomen and all these street vendors. Now they have their bank accounts, and they are basically getting all these benefits, you can say, associated with having a bank account. So they can get to 5,000 rupees overdraft as well, and so things are getting a bit easier for them. They are now part of this financial system, and lots of cash that was there in their hands, right? Cash on hand is now in the bank, so it is good for the economy as well. Free electricity connection for several crore families. Now imagine, even after 70 years of independence, many families in our country were living in 80th century, right? They were living a life of 80th century, and you know that without electricity you cannot have your mobile phone, you cannot find out what's going on around the world, you cannot watch telly, you don't, of course, you don't have to think about internet and things. But when you are provided with free electricity, then everything else will follow, right? When you have light, you have extra days, extra time. During night time you can study, or you can do your household work or other things. The other thing is you will have basic facilities like fan. This will, you know, it will add quality to your life. And he talked about this new India by 2022. I would like to add here that this is possible only, right? The new India, we will be able to see new India only when each and every individual, right, particularly youngsters, if we say, for example, take a pledge that we want to see a country, we want to see our India as a developed nation. We don't want to see anyone sleeping hungry because of poverty. We don't want to see anyone suffering from some sort of diseases and they are not able to cure themselves because of money problem and other things. We want to deliver the best education for our future generation, for our current generation. So this is only possible when we, right, when we will pay our tax on time, when we will do something, right? It's not all about money. It's about what are the things that you can add. Are you able to keep your environment clean and green? There are many other things, whether we are saving water, saving power. I can go on and on. There are many examples. So think about this way, and you will find questions, right? May it be essay question or mains examination, or you can be asked a question in your interview as well regarding your vision of New India. Remember when Prime Minister visited this Lal Bahadur Shastri IAS Training Academy. At that point of time, he said that every IAS, every collector should have his or her own vision for this new India, and they should try to implement this thing. So easily you can be asked a question on this item as well. India is the hot spot of digital innovation across all sectors. I'll give you a couple of examples. In near future, we are going to see water meters, right? Just like electric meters. This will keep an eye as well as a tab on our excessive water usage. When we have to pay money for excessive water usage, then of course we will become a bit stingy. We will become a bit conscious about our water usage. The second thing is electricity. With the help of this digital meters, this power theft that is the biggest issue that is faced by this discoms, to an extent we have eliminated this thing as well. Digital India has not remained, Prime Minister said, merely a government initiative, but it has become a way of life too. President of India inaugurated and graced and addressed this Akhil Bharatiya Mahotsav, Sivrajyabhishek. It was about Sivaji's Jayanti, celebrating his birthday, 90th February. And President of India said that Sivaji worked to integrate people beyond caste and other identities. A very interesting fact about Sivaji is that all appointments, may it be military appointments or administrative appointments, he used to do this thing based on people's ability and their merit, and not based on their caste and creed. And this is a good sign, or you can say this is a good human resource practice that we find in our history. You will study about Sivaji during this phase of medieval history, and this transition period from medieval history to modern history. At that point of time, you find this mention of Sivaji, and is a very important figure as well, historic, very heroic figure, as well as when you read history, make sure you analyze Sivaji's work in terms of his administration, as well as his terms of his personality, as well as his work done, or public welfare work done by Sivaji. He was and in fact he's considered as a good governance person. He used to have these abilities of looking after people very well. He was able to create this connect, and today as well we find that today's leaders, they do the similar sort of thing with the help of Twitter and other things. Things have changed, tools have changed, but the core, you can say at the core you have the same thing. Then you have this social democracy, right? Sivaji's social democracy that was prevalent at that point of time is relevant even today, as said by our president. Vice President talked about, or thrown some light on this education, how education system should be. It should be able to create and mold our character. It should help to develop a strong character and inculcate ethical and moral values among students. You will find that there are many, take example of Nirav Modi. He was having everything that one can aspire for, right? He was having money and good house, good cars and all those things. But then you find not everyone is rich in character, in ethics, in moral values. When you are taking away a huge amount of money of public banks or any bank or any person, what you are doing is basically you are grabbing those things that are not part of your share. And when you are snatching away this sort of money or wealth, someone else is suffering. A common person, when he knocks the doors of these banks, he has to pay higher amount of interest because you have taken away all those money. So education is, you can say, a very basic, and it is at the core of development. All the things that we want to see in our country can be done with the help of education. When you educate your people, when you build a strong character in them, when every citizen is having a strong character, and when they are polite and they are doing their duties and things, you can see that changes will take, or the pace of changes will it will increase, of course. He talked about de-stressing, or creating this environment of de-stress, not an environment of stress that we find nowadays. This competition going on, that my kid has got number 1 and number 2 and number 3. This sort of things are putting additional pressure on our kids, and converting countries' vast pool of human resources into a demographic dividend is a big challenge before everyone, before every country. There are many African countries as well at present. They are younger than us, but the biggest challenge as a society, as a government, is how we can convert this vast pool of human resource into a demographic dividend. It is a matter of privilege for us that this global World Environment Day of 2018 is going to be hosted in our country, and our minister said that of course we know this plastic is a serious menace, and I was watching pictures, right? When I say pictures, I mean to say that these photographs of my grandparents, and at that point of time, if you see, I'm sure you would be having some pictures of your grandparents and your parents in their time when they were young, and if you see the streets and other places, you will find they were much clean at that point of time. And now if you see, you hardly find places. This cleanliness that we see is not, it is more enforced rather than coming from inspiration or our you can say our inclination towards cleanliness or clean environment. Of course, awareness has gone up, but still it is very disheartening when we see this youngsters chucking away all these plastic wafer packets and other things out of out of their car windows and things like that. So still we have to cross, you can say we have to cross that miles. Still we are lagging behind, but this is a good start. Plastic is a serious menace, and minister has said that this is the beginning, and hopefully we will find something against plastic in this upcoming World Environment Day 2018's meeting. And he also said that this is not a symbolic celebration, but it is a mission. He talked about this green social responsibility and green good deeds, a very important topic. If you find something related to it, then do spend quality time after it. You may find a topic on this thing on your essay as well as your interview and mains examination. Of course, in near future, whenever we will find time, I will keep this. I am noting this thing down. We will talk about it in detail, so don't worry about it as well. Now, the proposed data privacy bill will be drafted soon, said Ravi Shankar Prasad, who is our communication and IT minister. He said that India is the largest emerging digital market in the world. If you see Facebook users, we are number 1. In terms of WhatsApp user, we are number 1. So the only thing is now we have to manufacture these digital items in our country. Nearly 50% of mobile phones are even today imported, and we have all this talent, we have this natural resources and other things as well, R&D and other things. These are the areas in which we are lagging behind, but once we will start, the good thing is that now we have 50% of our digital items are produced here in our country, particularly mobile phones. And in near future, those days are not far when 100% items will be produced here, and we would be exporting lots and lots of items outside our country. So good business opportunity in near future. But this data privacy is a matter of concern. It is a matter of worry, because nowadays you know that data is considered as a gold, right, or a new oil. Data is considered as new oil. Once I have your data, then I can offer you items and I can know much more about you, and based on that I can do advertisement and other things. So, and it is important as well that personal data is secure. Again, a news item from PMO. As you know, we are covering 19th and 20th date today. So regarding agriculture, he said that more agriculture credit and easy access to market will help boost farm income. What happens here in our country, particularly with marginal and small farmers, is that even today they have to, if they want some money, then they have to knock the doors of these private money lenders. The interest rates are a bit high, and very interesting scheme has been launched by Telangana government. We talked about this thing a couple of days ago. You remember that Telangana government will give 4,000 rupees per acre to a farmer for Rabi and Kharif season, and this money can be used by these farmers for purchasing all these input items, so they don't have to knock the doors of any banks at all. So this is a very innovative scheme, and I think this can change the way things are going on. Then we don't have to worry too much about this MSP as well. So hopefully we will find if this scheme at present it is doing wonders, or it is working very well, and I'm sure this will be replicated in other parts of our country as well. Something similar to this Amravati, this capital of Andhra Pradesh, right? It is under construction at present, and the land pooling scheme was quite innovation in this Amravati. So something similar we will find with this Telangana's scheme too. Pulse production has gone up. Pulses in our country are a main source of protein for our poor people. And when the prices of pulses goes up, they are out of reach for all these poor people. And then you have this nutritional insecurity and food insecurity and things taking place. So it's a good thing that the area as well as the production has gone up. India will rise with the rise of villages, and when farmers are empowered, the country will be empowered too. Maximum population of our country is still living in Bharat today. Bharat and India. When we say India, normally we find this sort of things in news, that India is referred, or when we talk about India, we are talking about this modern India, and when we talk about this Bharat, we are talking about our rural, or this India that is bit lagging behind in development. And farmers, right, 50% plus population is doing, or their livelihood is associated with agriculture. So only when we will be able to change their situation, when we will be able to change the situation of our villages, then only we would be able to change our country. Coating urea, neem coated urea, you find advertisements in DD News, you find advertisements in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha channels, government channels basically, and you should pay attention to this news items, or not news items, but this advertisements, awareness campaigns and things going on. Because if you go back in 2016, you find a question in your MCQ, and there was an advertisement coming on neem coated urea, and I'm sure I remember this thing as I'm talking to you right now. It was about this neem coated urea and its benefits, how it can fix nitrogen and things like that. And if you go through that prelims question, you will find that just by watching that advertisement and understanding it, you'd be able to crack one question. So it's not a small thing, right? Every mark matters, every drop matters. So in the same way, do pay attention. If you are watching this sort of adverts, then do pay attention to it. And you find this sort of adverts in different channels as well. It's not about government channels. Soil health card, with the help of this thing, we have curbed this use of chemical fertilizer by 8 to 10%. And a couple of days ago, we were talking about this organic farming. It is dream of our country to see chemical free farming or agriculture that is chemical free, because it damages our health as well. And productivity has gone up with the help of this scheme. Soil health card, 5 to 6% has gone up. A big change for our coal sector. Till now, or you can say this, there is a monopoly at present as well of this Coal India Limited, but now CCEA has decided that mining will be open for private companies as well. So first of all, there will be a competition between this Coal India and private companies, which is beneficial for the market, for consumer. Because of this competition between private and public sector, things will become a bit more faster. Coal India as well, when they will lose this monopoly, they will be on their toes too, to deliver or to mine these coals or mine best quality coals and supply it. So this is going to be something similar to entry of private mobile service providers, right? BSNL was having monopoly at one point of time, but the entry of this private players, nowadays we know this Jio is there, you have this Vodafone and other companies. So BSNL, you know, it has to work really, really hard, and at the end of the day, it is the consumers who benefit out of it. So a very good step. In future, we'll find some more items related to this thing as well. Finance Minister has expressed his concern regarding this Punjab National Bank fraud thing, and he said that we have to work now, we have to come up with all these measures so that we do not find this sort of frauds getting repeated in the future in our country. It is definitely this failure of this management, and we have this three-tier auditing system then as well. Both internal and external auditors, they failed literally in detecting this sort of frauds going on, and it is the duty as well as responsibility of the supervising agencies to introspect and find out the ways through which we can get rid of all these frauds. Because of what happens is they are this sort of frauds, and NPAs, right, are like cancer for the whole economy. They take away huge amount of money from our system, and this creates lots and lots of problems. This you can say positive investment that can add more jobs and more development and growth gets a hindrance because of this sort of NPAs and frauds. Maldives, serious things going on in Maldives at present. The government of Maldives have decided to extend the state of emergency till March 22nd. And the sad thing is that you require, as per the Constitution, 43 lawmakers if you want to go ahead with this sort of emergency, if you want to declare emergency, but only 38 MPs were present, and then as well they have decided to go ahead with this thing. Opposition parties, they boycotted this session, and basically it is about passing your constitution, and as if judging by this news item, we can easily say that this is not a legal emergency at all. We know the role of China, we know India is it is about our neighborhood thing, so we are a bit skeptical about it. Last item that we have is about Dara Sukho, right? Dara Sukho was a son of Emperor Shah Jahan, brother of Aurangzeb. We know how he was killed by his brother himself, and he was a Sufi saint, and he was trained, or you can say he was disciple of Sheikh Muinuddin Chishti. Now the thing is, you find this type of questions in match, in MCQ match, the following kind of thing, right? A and B, you will be given name of these emperors and Sufi saints associated with them. So make sure this Dara Sukho is associated with Sheikh Muinuddin Chishti. The other thing is, these principles of Sufism are highly relevant to break down these narrow prejudices and bring people together, especially in today's world of materialism, consumerism, and growing religious fundamentalism. If we want to kill this ideology of radicalization and terrorism and Wahhabism and other things, then Sufism is a very, you can say, peaceful, harmonious path that we have, and it has added new flavor, new fragrance in the culture of our country, in terms of music, in terms of religion, in terms of spirituality. It has glued all these different communities, Muslims, Hindus, Christians, and Sikhs all together. So Sufism is very important for our country, and it is part of your syllabus as well. That's everything that we have got. These are your answers, these are your questions, dear friends, and I will see you all soon. Don't forget to check out StudyIQ.com. Please give us your like if you have learned something out of this discussion. Take care. Jai Hind.